I'm pretty sure I'm not the only lesbian who hears from other women who are not lesbians how much they wish that they were lesbians. And I want to address why women who are either heterosexual or bisexual feel this way. And of course, I can only go based off of what these women have told me. And also, I can understand why they feel the way they do, considering that even though I am a lesbian, I still can see how heterosexual women or bisexual women experience life when it comes to maybe some of their challenges or hardships that they undergo, which causes them to want to be lesbians. However, being a lesbian does not mean that your life is free of challenges and hardships. But I will say that our challenges and hardships are different because of our different sexual orientations. The title of this video is Women Who Wish They Were Lesbians. My name is Giselle Wallace, lesbian life coach and author. And I want to probably discuss a couple of experiences or rather incidents, where women opened up to me and confessed that they wish they were lesbians. I don't know if heterosexual women have this kind of conversation among other heterosexual women, but they probably do. However, when heterosexual women or bisexual women opened up to me about their desire to be lesbians, it was because they knew that I identify as a lesbian, and being an open lesbian, being confident in my own skin, makes for the opportunity for these women to be real with themselves and to share information with a trusted source. And I think that it's important that women be able to have these type of conversations, have a safe place to connect. Just because I'm a lesbian does not mean that I don't engage or interact with heterosexual women or bisexual women. And I mean on a platonic level. Women are women. We all have an experience of being a woman. And so we do have that in common. But because of our differences in our sexual orientation, our lives tend to play out differently. But we're able to utilize our differences to help us to navigate life a little bit easier, and to have someone who is able to empathize with you and listen to your voice, because what we have to say as women is very important. And there's a reason why these women feel the way they do. And I just want to acknowledge heterosexual and bisexual women who feel like they wish they could be lesbians. Do I believe that they really want to be lesbians? Sometimes, yes, they are very serious about wanting to be lesbians, but other times they're just speaking out of their emotion. And the thing about emotions, your emotions are signators of your thoughts. And your emotions allow you to recognize what you're experiencing and how it's affecting you. So sometimes you are in a moment, you're in a certain situation that causes you to react and say at the spur of the moment, I wish I was a lesbian. And they may not literally mean that, because they're fine with their sexual orientation, but they could be venting. Maybe they are dealing with a man that is making their life very difficult. Maybe their heart has been broken in some form or fashion, and it kind of relieves them to think about being a lesbian, to just kind of escape their reality. But there was, I'll give an example of a heterosexual woman sharing with me that she was a lesbian, and a bisexual woman sharing with me that she was a lesbian. And the heterosexual woman was saying to me that she's attracted to men physically and sexually and emotionally and mentally, but she says that she really does not like men on a mental level. And I asked her if she could tell me more what she means, and she explained to me that she really is not compatible with men, because she says she argues all the time with men. Like, she said, it's not even, she said, I would admit if I was causing an argument, or if I was choosing to be difficult with a man. But she says in many cases, I'm not being difficult. I am just someone who is a responsible participant in a relationship. And she mentioned that she's had a lot of encounters with men where she is always having to be the one who is accountable for her actions and her behaviors. However, her male counterpart avoided a lot of his responsibilities, and he created conflict, and she was very weary. So she says she does not feel compatible with men because they never meet eye to eye. They never resolve their, whatever their situation that led to an argument or some form of conflict. And she just wants to be able to communicate with a man reasonably, but she finds that to be a difficult task. Whereas when she communicates with women, she says that she feels heard and she feels peaceful. And if you ever, if you've ever read about the differences between men and women, you will learn that women on average speak 10 times more than their male counterparts. And the reason being is because women naturally have a larger vocabulary, and women are designed to receive mental stimulation from communication. However, with males, they tend to be more action oriented, and they don't spend as much time speaking or talking or communicating. And the issue with that is relationships are really built, the foundation of relationships lasts because of the skill of being able to communicate. But this woman who identifies as heterosexual, she mentioned to me that these were her words verbatim. She says, I really don't even understand why I'm attracted to men, because there's only the physical side that I like about men. And she said that she likes the physical build and anatomy of the male. And so she is sexually aroused by men. But she says that she does not have the experience of being able to be really good friends with men. And so she says men anger her and annoy her and frustrate her. And she said that she wishes that she could be with a woman. However, she's not physically or sexually attracted to women, so that prevents her from being with a woman, which means that she is not a lesbian. Now, regarding a bisexual woman and what she explained to me, she was in a relationship with a man. She wasn't married to him. She was actually pregnant at the time. She's had her baby since then, of course. And this relationship that she had with this man was off and on. And she was having a difficult time at the moment because she was happy about being pregnant, but her boyfriend was not happy about the pregnancy at all. So that is going to cause major conflict in their relationship. But she mentioned that he would fluctuate in his feelings. One minute he wanted to be with her, the next minute he did not. But the only thing that stayed consistent is that he did not want to have a baby. But she wanted her child and she had her child. And I'm looking at how, as a lesbian woman, one of the main criticisms that heterosexual people, males and females, especially men, because I hear it mostly from men, is that they criticize lesbians for having children. And then they criticize gay men for not being able to have children. And they generally like to say that being a homosexual is wrong because you can't have kids, you can't make babies. But yet, that is very false, because our biological and our biological build, our anatomy does not prevent us from having children. It does not prevent lesbians from being enabled to have babies, and it doesn't prevent gay men from being able to have babies as well, because the male carries the seed, the female carries the egg. Our physical anatomy is the same, regardless of us being heterosexual or homosexual. And there's so many avenues that lesbian and gay men take to have children. And some of them have their own biological children. But yet, when I look at these heterosexual people, they don't even want their own children who they create. So they're in this heterosexual relationship, and they're mad about getting pregnant or getting a woman pregnant. And it's very backwards. It just makes it clear to me that heterosexual people can be very hypocritical, and they're not living according to this righteous moral compass that they like to make everyone believe that they abide by. They're very quick to criticize and try to ridicule homosexual people, while they need to be focused on being better people in their own relationships and being better parents themselves. But I digress. So the bisexual lady was saying to me, and I knew she was bisexual because she shared that with me, because I opened up to her, first, that I was a lesbian. And that's when she told me, I wish I could be a lesbian. And I asked her, I said, well, you're bisexual, so you can be with women already. She said, but it's different. Because I'm bisexual, I cannot control the fact that I am attracted to men. And I'm in this relationship with this man right now who she says she was in love with, but he didn't want her to have his baby. And she was having such a difficult time, and my heart went out to her. It was really sad. And when she found out the gender of the baby, it's a boy. And she was thinking that once she, told her boyfriend that the baby was a boy, that he would change his mind and be excited about it. And she said that he seemed to be even more aggravated about the pregnancy after he found out it was a boy. But she mentioned to me that she wished that she exclusively only was attracted to women only and not men, because she said it would just be so much sweeter for her to be able to be with a woman. And she said that she actually was going down memory lane and telling me about the last woman she was in a relationship with. And I knew she was really into this woman because I could just see it in her eyes. I pretty much almost think that she still has feelings for whoever that woman was. But she just was able to know the differences between being with a man and a woman, because she's bisexual and she's had experiences with both sexes. And she was in this relationship with this man because she genuinely cared for him. And now she was pregnant with him at the time. She had her son and everything. She showed me pictures of the baby, beautiful, healthy little boy. But can you imagine the emotional, mental stress that a woman has to undergo with dealing with men who are not being responsible, not being the men that they need to be, but yet they choose to get involved with women who they will not provide for and protect and love and value and respect. Relationships are not designed for your own personal convenience. They're not designed for your own selfish needs. And many of these women who are heterosexual or bisexual share that they believe that many of these men want to be with them only because they want to have sex. And I believe it. I was reading an article. You can Google articles. Like, I've read like so many different articles about relationships, but I remember, I think it was an article from Cosmopolitan, and the conversation was about why are you in relationships? And there was a man who said it's more convenient to have a girlfriend so you can just have sex on the fly. Because when a man doesn't have a girlfriend, he has to go out there and search for someone. And it's not really that easy to just be able to sleep with a woman every single night unless you're some type of celebrity or jock. And I thought how, selfish his statement was, but it was a real honest statement. And women who are heterosexual and bisexual, they want to be loved. They want to be cared for. They want to be respected and valued. So I understand their desire to be to want to be lesbians. And I'll share a story with you, and I'll close with this. It was I was actually at the beauty shop, and it was a lady getting her hair done. And you know how you're speaking, how you're speaking to the beautician. And just like with men at the barbershop, it's a place for them to talk. The beauty shop is a place where women often talk. And both ladies were heterosexual, but one of the lady that was getting her hair done, she mentioned how when she was younger, um, there was these two girls that stayed in her neighborhood, two beautiful Black women. She said they were real attractive, beautiful dark brown skin, and you know just very voluptuous, like attractive women. And she said that she identifies as heterosexual, and she was married at the time. She said, I was married, just a few years in my marriage. And the two women she was talking about were twins, and she had a name for them. She called them literally, quote, the butt sisters, because she said they had big butts and they were real pretty. And she said one of the girls she was really close with, really friends with, and she was the twin who she was real close with was in a very toxic relationship with the man. And she said that they was literally having arguments all the time, and he was actually violent. She said she would share with her, please get out of that situation, get away from him. And she said one day the twin invited her over to her house, and she came over to her house, and the girl cooked like dinner for her. And she said, now this girl could cook. It was good. And she was thinking in her head, wow, this girl is so fine and she know how to cook, and she messing with this sorry dude. I don't get it. She said she was thinking that in her head, but she was like, why am I looking at this woman? Because she said, I'm straight, but this woman looked good. So the girl was, the twin girl was talking to her, she said, and she was like, I'm just so sick of men. I don't even want to be with men anymore. And she was just like, really? And she was like, nah, I don't want to be with a man no more. And she said, honestly, um, I I think about being with women all the time. And um, she said, really? She said, so you like girls? And she said, yeah, I like girls. And she said, my dude always cheating on me. He's always cheating on me with these other girls. And she said, I don't even cheat on him. She said, but I'm really thinking about cheating on him with the girl again, because I like women, and I've been trying to, be faithful to him, and I have, but I want a woman. So the heterosexual woman that was telling this story, she said, I'm not gonna lie. She said, when she dropped that information, the first thing that crossed my mind was getting with her sexually. And she said, I'm heterosexual, but I really would have slept with her because, you know, she looked good and she's a really nice woman. But she said that she remained friends with the girl, but she said, I always wondered if I made a move on her, if we would have been together today. And she said, I didn't make a move on this woman because I'm married. She said, I had a husband at the time. And what's interesting is she's no longer married now, but this was years ago. Like she was in her early 20s. I think at the time this woman was in her early 40s. So this was years ago when she was reminiscing on this story. And she said that she wonders about the pretty twin girl sometimes. And she says she just hopes that the girl was free from that relationship with that very toxic guy. And she says she hopes that she has found love with a woman. And just hearing these stories, it's actually therapeutic because it's so important for us women to, you know, talk and bond together and express ourselves, because a lot of times this will help us figure out our lives and to make better decisions with ourselves and the relationships that we choose to be in. So at the end of the day, I know that we are not able to change our sexual orientation, but we can change how we live our lives. And we can also make better decisions in who we allow in our lives. So to all the heterosexual women and the bisexual women who wish they were lesbians, just understand we can all still be sisters. We can all be friends. And I wish you love, I wish you peace, I wish you safety, and I appreciate the information you've shared with me. And I encourage you to love yourself and to live a life that you want to live, the kind of life that you truly deserve. My name is Giselle Wallace, lesbian life coach and author. Thank you for listening, and please subscribe to my YouTube channel, like and share my content. Thank you very much.